So for saving on the iPad, especially say you finished your illustrations and you're ready to submit and turn in, remember we need to have different file types. And we need to have those file types saved somewhere so that we can turn them into Schoology, right? Remember, Google Drive is our go-between between Schoology and the Illustrator apps or the Illustrator programs. So I'm going to use the little up arrow, and you can do a quick export as a PNG if you want. But I'm going to take publish and export, and notice how I can export this as an Adobe Illustrator file, right? So I could click on that and send it to my Google Drive. I could export it as, let me click export as. I can come here and I can click PDF. Oh, all right. We always want to preserve the Illustrator editing. That means a PDF will be saved in layers. That's always a helpful thing. I'm going to click export, and it's going to say, where do you want to send it? And you'll have to click on your Google Drive, right? Okay, so you can do that with the PDF, the PNG, to make sure it's going into the right place, right? And you can do that with your AI and tell it to go to your Google Drive, right? So that's how you end up saving your different file types. You put them in your Google Drive graphic design folder on your iPad. So here I am on my desktop, and I've just opened up Illustrator, and look, my image is saved over here. I have a little cloud that tells me that it's saved online only right now. And again, it's saving from what I just finished on my iPad. So we can open up anything that you create on your iPad from its cloud here. So let me open this up. I'm going to double click. It's downloading it from the internet. Close that. All right, and here it is, right? Look over to the right, and all of my layers are all there. They're in the same condition that I left them. Some are locked. The background layer wasn't locked because I was last working on that. So I could come over here and I could say, all right, this is a little too dark. I could change and adapt things over here. Maybe I'll make this a little bit lighter. And there's my lighter background. And now I can go, I'd like to file save again. I'm going to file save, and it's going to save back to the cloud. And we know that because the little cloud icon's up there. Okay. Now, the concern is don't get so hooked on saving things to the cloud. There are times in which the internet goes down and we don't have that access. So when you're done with an object or an item, it is still wise to take this and go File, Save As, save it on your computer as well, and save always the original document, and you want to take it to your Google Drive graphic design folder, right? Because at times you're going to need to submit this in multiple file forms for me to print out, and to save them you need to have them in some location, because when we start to submit things from our app, we'll need to not only have the original, but we'll need to have a PDF, and there's a way to save that on your iPad, and you can do it on your desktop, and we'll be saving as a PNG. So we need to save those saves somewhere, right? So our Google Drive is where we're going to save some of those things. The active working document, yeah, it's convenient to go back and forth between the iPad on the cloud and the desktop on the cloud. But again, we need to always have it somewhere else other than just that, especially for submissions and turn-ins.